Sawadee, welcome to Pad Thai Kitchen. So today I'm going to make sweet and sour crispy noodles, which in Thai are called Mee Grob. So mee are thin rice vermicelli, which is these, and grob, as the way it sounds, means crispy. So these are sort of like savory Asian Rice Krispie squares. They're super popular snacks, especially amongst tourists in Thailand, and they are not hard to make. However, if you don't know what you're doing, there could be a lot of problems with it. Either noodles don't puff up properly, or they get soggy, they don't stay crispy, or they're too sweet. So today I'm going to share with you all the secrets that you need to know. And if you follow them, I guarantee you will have crispy, delicious noodles that stay crispy for weeks. You can package them, sell them as a side hustle. That is how good they're going to be. All right, let's get started. So the mee that we are using are these thin rice vermicelli, which you can get at just about any Asian grocery store. What you want to do is separate them into sort of smaller bundles, because when we fry these, they will puff up a lot. So you only want to fry a small bundle at a time. And then this is a little long, so I just cut, and that's it. So this is about a good amount to fry in like a pot this size. Secret number one. You need to weigh your ingredients. So this is not a recipe where you can just willy-nilly eyeball things, because the ratio between the noodles and the sauce is everything. Too little and it's bland, too much and it's too sweet and sticky. So you can tinker with it afterwards, but I would follow the recipe to a T the first time. Secret number two, for fluffy, light, not oily noodles, your oil has to be screaming hot. At least 430 degrees Fahrenheit. Between 430 and 450 works. Actually, I'm going to show you what the noodles look like when the oil is not hot enough. So even if you don't have a thermometer, you can gauge by the behavior of the noodles. My oil is at 350 now. This is a temperature at which you fry most things. It's taking its time. It's not puffing right away, which is not what we want. So I'm going to remove my sacrifice noodles. And it's actually browning without puffing at all. So we're now at 390, 400. It's getting there, but it's not, if it doesn't make you jump, it's not hot enough. 420. Oh, so close, so close. You can see it's trying so hard. 430. It's okay, but it's still, I think 450 is kind of where you need to go. But you can see the volume is starting to increase now. 450, like you can see how much more volume that has, right? So here they all are, all the different noodles fried at different temperature. And the interesting part is the lower the temperature, the browner the noodles. I'm not really sure why that happens, but it does. And as you get higher and higher, you get this fluffy, white, light, and the volume increases so much more. And that's what you want. And when you break it off, it's just super light. Whereas if you take one fried at lower temperature, it's harder. Like you can almost hear it, right? It's not fluffy. Even this one is not fluffy. 430 is okay. This one is fried at 430. It's not as white, but fluffiness wise, it's okay. But really the best is 450. All right, let's fry the rest of them. For this part, I recommend ventilating your room best you can. I've turned the fan on, and then please enjoy the ASMR effect of frying noodles. Woo! Woo! Ka-chang! Wow! I'm just checking my final oil temperature, and it seems I went up to 475, which is still good. You can see the noodles were really puffing up at the end, but the oil is starting to smoke now. So for quality of the oil's sake, keep it around 450 is probably your best bet. Okay, now that all that excitement is over, let's move on to the part where it's less likely to result in a disaster. I'm going to make the sauce. It's a sweet and sour sauce that has a lot of the same ingredients as pad thai actually. So I like to think of these as crispy pad thai. So gonna start out with some oil and some shallots. And I'm gonna cook the shallots until they're nice, soft, and caramelized. So keep the heat relatively low for this. And choice of cookware, I want to use something that's big because we want the sauce to evaporate, and so we want that to happen sooner rather than later. And also I'm using a non-reactive wok, so no carbon steel, no cast iron, because the sauce is acidic, and so that is going to eat away at your metal. Starting to smell good. The smell of fried shallots. Just gonna put these a little bit further so that they're a little bit more caramelized, but not burnt. More caramelized, more caramelized. Living on the edge here. Okay, that's all I have the patience for. It's good enough. Next, an egg. It might be a surprising choice to add an egg. Oh no, shell. But the eggs are kind of just like gonna get candied in the sweet sauce. Not even be visible, but they do add almost substance, some protein, and of course, a little bit of flavor as well. You don't have to add it. I've seen lots of recipes that don't add the egg in the sauce, but I do think they add a little something, something. And now, super easy. We're gonna add all of the seasoning, which includes palm sugar. Lots and lots of palm sugar, because this is a sweet and sour, so that's the sweet. The sour is tamarind. You wanna know how to make tamarind paste yourself? I do have a video for that I will link to. Fish sauce for salty. Now, I'm gonna add some Thai sriracha for a little bit of spiciness and also that iconic orange color. If you're making this for kids and you don't want it spicy at all, you can add a little bit, you can add ketchup instead, or do half and half. I'm actually gonna do fish sauce and salt just to make it a little bit less fishy for some people who might want something a little more neutral. Some lime juice. And also, I'm going to add some lime zest. Now, traditionally, Mee Grob uses a type of citrus called som sa, which I've never even seen. They're really hard to find even in Thailand. I don't know what it smells like, but I like the smell of lime zest just fine. You can try different citrus. You can do a combination of lime and lemon. You can do a combination of lime and orange. People say that it smells kind of like half lime, half orange, but I think lime works just fine for me. Okay, secret number 3. The last secret. You're gonna cook this sauce down until it's very thick, but don't eyeball the thickness. What you wanna do is measure the temperature of the sauce, and it should reach 240 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a softball stage in the way of candy making. And that's the temperature it needs to reach in order for it to not turn the noodles soggy when you put the noodles in. You can imagine all of the liquid. Noodles go in now, they're just gonna turn soft and soupy, right? But if you cook the sugar down so much, it becomes really hard, and then it's just too hard, and then it becomes like hard candy. You don't want that. You still want it to be kind of soft, but absolutely no moisture, no water left to soften the noodles, okay? That's the main secret of this recipe. So keep cooking, keep stirring, because it will start to burn to the bottom if you stop stirring. We are super close. This is what it should look kind of like. Let's take temperature. So never trust your eyes. We're at 225, so a little bit more to go. Oh, and if you see any big chunks of eggs, just break them up, because you don't really want big chunks, because that'll be really overpowering when you eat it. 235, 236, 37, 39, 40, 41. Okay, we are good. Just for now, I'm gonna turn off the heat so that it doesn't burn on the bottom while I'm not looking. And then I'm gonna add all of these noodles in here. Yes, does not look like it's gonna fit, but we will crush it down. And now with 2 spatulas, I'm gonna just toss everything together, but I'm gonna turn the heat back on just a very, very low, just because when it's hot, the sauce is softer and it's easier to get everything mixed. And you want to be really vigilant with any clumps of sauce because that will be overwhelming when you eat it. And I swear in the beginning, it looks like it will never mix. But have faith. Much better. I thought, why is this so much harder? Because at home I have a built-in stove and it's not way the heck up here. It's like at this level, which is way easier. Okay, this is good. Here's the cool part. Once you get to this point, you've got a couple of options. You can pack it into a tray and turn them into little snacks, which is what we're gonna do here. Or you can actually take them and turn them into a proper meal and make essentially a crispy pad thai, which is what I will share with you in the next video. So stay tuned for that. It's super easy. The hard work is already done, but it's such a luxurious way to serve these as well. But today, let's make some snacks. I'm just gonna pack these halfway up because I really love adding cashews or some sort of a nuts to it. It really adds some nuttiness that contrasts, with the all carbs situation that we've got going. So I got cashews, which I painstakingly split in half. You can also just chop them, but they're prettier when they're left whole. And then just for color, I'm just gonna do pumpkin seeds. And why I didn't just mix it in the wok, because they all fall to the bottom when I do that, which I found out the hard way. And then I have to rescue them from the wok and put them back in here. So then the rest of this goes on top. And then we'll put more nuts on top. See, that just brings them to life. And you can add really any ingredients as long as they're shelf stable if you plan on keeping these at room temperature. And pack that in. We'll fill the gaps. And you want to do this while they're still warm so the sugar hasn't quite solidified and they'll be much more pliable. And now I'm gonna let that set up and cut them into cubes. Okay, so this has, it's room temp-ish. Now I'm gonna just unstick it from the sides. It doesn't really stick, but just to be sure. And you can cut it in the pan if you want, or I'm gonna try to as well. Bring it out. Yay. And flip it back. Oh no, my cashews. I think 4x4 is a good size for this. Sharp knife though, because you don't want to squish these. They are not rock solid, so they are to some degree squishable. You can hear the crispiness. Yay, look at these. I'm gonna taste the edge piece so I have more pretty ones for photos. You can hear the crispy, right? And light, fluffy, not sticky. Perfect balance of sweet, salty, and sour. Oh, man. These are better once you've let them sit for a while. They're okay to eat right now, but if you let them sit maybe overnight, half a day at least, the flavor will sort of start to penetrate into the noodles and it'll be more even out a little bit. You know how lasagna tastes better the next day? It's kind of the same idea. Pro tip, when you put it in a container or whatever, there are some common garnishes, including fried makrut lime leaves and fried chilies. If you want, you can eat these. These are crispy fried, just in the same oil that you fried the noodles, but lower at 325, 350. But if you pack it in the container with the chilies and the lime leaves, the smell will actually slowly infuse into the noodles. And after a few days, you can taste the lime leaves and even the smell of the chilies in the noodles. So the recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com. If you make this, definitely send me a photo and tag me at Hot Thai Kitchen everywhere. And remember, stay tuned for next video. I'm going to show you how to turn this into a luxurious meal And a special thanks to our Patreon members who help support the show. And if you want to know what that's all about, how you can watch my videos ad-free, get extra bonus content, you can check out more information in the description below. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai meal.